Prejudice is horrible. It's despicable. Hypocrisy, though, is worse because it pretends to be right while doing what is plainly wrong. For almost 5 years, Alan Chastanet, the leader of the opposition, has been treated with a level of hostility that goes beyond politics. Now, I'm not crying for Alan Chastanet because we all know he's more than capable of handling himself. But sometimes we must stand up against what is wrong, because if we don't, one day there will be no one left to stand up for what is right. Now, permit me to take a detour and let's take a brief look at the Speaker of the House. The Speaker of the House is elected by a parliament where the government holds an overwhelming majority. In my mind, it is systemic bias, especially considering when the person who occupies that chair is incapable of rising to the level of rectitude that position demands. And that matters because it means the Speaker does not exist in a vacuum. The Speaker operates within a political reality. And in that reality, what we are seeing is not accidental alignment. It is pure bias on the part of the Speaker. So when unfairness keeps happening under this Speaker's watch, when one side is consistently given room and the other is consistently cut down, that is not coincidence. That is intentional. And that is exactly what the country has been seeing over the past 4 to 5 years. Now, enough of the Speaker. There was a time when the office of the leader of the opposition meant something, no matter who held it. Think about the men who sat in that chair before. Men like Alan Louisy, John Compton, Julian Hunt, Kenneth Foster, Asin James, Peter Josie, Kennedy Anthony, and many other illustrious figures and characters. They were challenged, yes. They were often vehemently opposed, of course. But they were not treated with this kind of open disregard and contempt that Alan Chastanet has been subjected to. Not with this scorn and repulsion. So what changed, St. Lucia? What changed? Some will quietly say it's because Alan Chastanet is seen as a white man, because of his mother's Irish background. But let's be honest. That explanation on its own is too simple. The deeper issue is character. The deeper issue is what we are now willing to tolerate, what we are willing to excuse, and even defend once it benefits our side. Now look at what just happened this week. A prime minister brings the national budget debate to an early end. 4 members of the parliament do not get to present. 3 of them are government ministers, men entrusted with massive portfolios, responsible for hundreds of millions of dollars in taxpayers' funds. 3 of them are responsible for decisions that affect every single one of us. The fourth is the leader of the opposition, a position that has very little sway in the scheme of things, especially in the world of 16 to 1. Now pause, St. Lucia, and think. Think, St. Lucia. Who gets blamed? Not the 3 government ministers who said nothing. Not the ones who had the duty to account to the people and did not. Not the ones controlling the country's resources. No, Payo. The blame is placed squarely on the one man from the opposition, the only and lonely one. And the Speaker of the House presides over this and allowed the Prime Minister to denigrate the leader of the opposition. Why? Because he walked out of the House when the Prime Minister cut the debate short? And in the process, preventing 3 of his own ministers from accounting to the people. And now he blames the leader of the opposition for that. If that doesn't trouble you, St. Lucia, it should. Because this is not just politics. This is accountability being flipped on its head. Ministers with responsibility, silent. Millions to be spent, no explanation. Decisions that will shake this country, no defense. Tourism arrivals down, nada. Visa-free access to the UK revoked, nada. US green card application suspended, nada. Memorandum of understanding signed with the US to accept third-party deportees, nada. CIP under intense international scrutiny, not a word, not a word, Pamu Powell. And somehow, that silence is acceptable. Are you serious, St. Lucia? But the man who didn't speak because the debate was cut short, he becomes the problem? Come on, St. Lucia. Call it what it is. That is not fairness. That is a calculated move to protect those who must account while sacrificing the voice of the easiest to attack. This is exactly the behavior ascribed to bullies. And underneath that narrative is something far more uncomfortable: envy, resentment, jealousy, and yes, in some cases, prejudice that some people are too afraid to admit, to call out loud. Because here is the truth. A man does not have to be perfect to be treated fairly. A man does not have to be liked to be treated justly. And some people, listen carefully, because I know you can associate with this. Some people with more power, more money, more position, more influence, bigger house, fancier cars, will still feel threatened by someone they cannot control. They will still feel threatened by someone they cannot silence. They will still feel threatened by someone they cannot diminish. So they try. They try to embarrass you. They try to discredit you. They try to humiliate you. They twist the story to make you look bad. And they hope if they repeat it long enough, people will accept it as truth. But St. Lucia, truth has a way of knocking and knocking and knocking, and one day it will kick down the whole damn door. I want to thank you for listening. May God bless you and your families, and may He continue to shine His light and bless our beautiful isle, St. Lucia. One love, my people. One love, St. Lucia.